All right, what's up, FFA? Good morning as we jumpstart this new week. Hey, hopefully, you guys can hear me okay. This wind out here is insane this morning, but hopefully, you guys can hear me okay. We don't have any glitches like we did last week on Wednesday. I hope everybody had an amazing 4th of July holiday. I hope you got to enjoy the time with your family. If you're in an area that was affected with the flooding, our prayers go out to you. I know a lot of folks in Texas are going through a devastating time, and there's a lot of people in North Carolina after yesterday that got flooded out as well. So our prayers are with everybody there. And as always, guys, even though we don't see why tragedies happen, all things happen for the good that creates us. And so we just got to put our piece in that, pray for him, and he'll be there to help everybody out that's been affected by that. But thoughts and prayers go out to everybody with the flooding that's been going on. And on today's call, guys, we're going to talk about unleashing the greatness inside of you. And before we do that, I want to jump into the verse of the day and then to the top 15 on the week last week. This verse says, "In him our hearts rejoice, for we trust in his holy name." And I love this verse because it reminds me that no matter what you have going on this Monday morning, as long as you put your heart into him and your trust into him, then everything seems to just work itself out. Every piece seems to come to you, right? Even in tragedy. So in him our hearts rejoice, and we trust in his holy name. Let's talk about the top 15 on the week last week. These agents fought so hard. Check it out. It's one thing to put your name at the top of the chart in a regular work week. It's a whole other thing to put your name at the top of the leaderboard when it is a holiday week. So I want to give these agents just a huge shout out here. We had Joni claiming her spot in the top 15 alongside with Jenna and Stephanie claiming their spot there on the leaderboard. Big shout out to Allie and Adonis. Adonis has been in there back to back to back weeks. Same thing with Allie. So nice work to her. Big shout out to Ray for claiming his spot in the top 15, going over 4K there. We had Jess Graham with a huge week like usual, putting her name in the top of the charts. T Wade has been crushing it lately as she climbed up into the top 10. We had Jenny Ivy go over, what is that, 5,300. She's just been on a tear lately, Jenny. Super proud of you for running hard here. We had Corey uh, literally tore his ACL waiting on surgery, and he still put up 5,300 on the week. So great work to him. And Aaron with another phenomenal week like usual. And let's give this agent a big shout out. Cassie, working alongside of Becca, had over a $9,500 week. I think her second week here at FFA. So big shout out to Cassie. Super proud of her for just setting the bar high there, going over 9K. And then these two ladies have just been, if you could talk about momentum, I don't know if anybody has momentum more than these two, Julie and Becky, over $10,000 each on the week. I know, I'm pretty sure that's their new personal best records for them. So big shout out to them for absolutely crushing the week last week, going over 10K. I tried to get them to come on the call. I need everybody to go to WhatsApp and tell Julie and Becky that you want to see them live on the call. They're a little bit stage fright. I don't know why, because they always do phenomenal when they're talking. But Julie and Becky, I'm going to have the team persuade you to come on the call to share your secrets going over 10K. And then taking home number one spot, you guys have seen this kid post nonstop in WhatsApp as he continues to hustle. Was the agent of the month last month, and here he is, agent of the week again. Big shout out to Dennis, over 10K, just shy of 11K on his week. So we're going to continue this call, guys. If I don't blow away on you, I don't know where the wind's coming from. It was not this bad when I got set up out here. So hopefully it will calm down here in just a minute and you guys can actually hear me. This is like the only spot in the house that I can get this internet to work good enough for the call not to pause out. So hopefully we'll be okay here. But if not, we'll just fight through the struggle together. Look at that. Wind stopped. Your prayers worked. The wind's definitely stopped. So let's talk about breaking in your inner greatness. Guys, why am I talking about this call? We're out here to sell insurance, right? Why am I talking about unlocking your inner greatness? Because it's not just about what you do. It's not just about beating objections. It's not just about getting into the door, or getting on the phones, or having work ethic, or knowing your script, knowing your presentation. At the end of the day, what you feel you are worth, what you feel is inside of you, is what is going to make you successful in life, not just in this career, but in life in general. And I want you guys to think about where you are right now in your life, right? We have agents in all stages of life. We've got some that just turned 18, 19 years old. We've got some that are grandparents. We've got some that, are raising kids. They just got married, whatever the case is, right? Think about if you were to write a book right now, or better yet, somebody was going to write a book about you, about your life. What would it say inside of it? And I really want you guys to think about that, because I want you to realize that you actually have a story. You have a story that's being written right now. And every single day that you wake up, every single day that you give it your all, you're putting another chapter in that story, in that book, for what your family and generations to come are going to look back on. And I want you guys to think about that, because the first part in writing your story is figuring out how do you unlock the greatness inside of you that's going to get your story written, that's going to make your book interesting, right? Some of you guys have overcame tremendous odds just up until this point in your life. I'm sure if you think back on it, there was a tragedy, something has happened in your life where you kind of felt like you were in a valley, maybe financially, maybe with your health, maybe with your relationships, whatever the case is. Those instances are what allows you to see what you're actually made out of, right? It's not when everything's going good that you get to see what you're built of, right? It's when things are going bad that you get to see what you're built of. So, how do you unlock the greatness inside of you as an insurance agent? Number one, you have to know who you are, right? This verse, I always go back to this. It says, I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. The greatness inside of you guys starts with the blood that's flowing through you, right? If you really believe, all right, in the one that sacrificed everything for us, then you know you have the blood of a king running through you, right? Alicia loves the royal family in England, right? You got I don't even know who they are. I know Prince Harry, I know William, I know Queen Elizabeth, right? But she loves that lineage, all right? And she always said, she thinks she was like a long lost cousin or something of them. But I'm sharing that with you guys, right? Because think about that. The royal family in England, would you act different if you knew that your lineage was royalty? Right? Would you think that your life would be different if you were in that lineage? You're in that lineage right now, guys, and some of us don't even realize it. You have the lineage of the one that sacrificed everything to give us everything inside of you. So there is a ton of bottled up greatness inside of you just waiting to explode. You got to figure out how to do that, right? And the first step is with your identity. You weren't made by accident, right? I don't think God put any of us in this career, in this agency, didn't give you breath in your life when you woke up this morning on accident, right? It was for a reason. And so I want you guys to dive into what do you think that reason is, right? He created you with intention, beauty, and a purpose, all right? And when you can understand your worth in that, you're going to start seeing that greatness come out. You're going to stop self-doubting yourself, right? You're going to start accomplishing the tasks and the goals that you're capable of doing. All right. Number two, how do you unlock the greatness in you? Walk boldly in faith and not in fear. I know that's cliche. It's easy to say that, right? Don't walk in fear, but walk in faith. When we were out here on the beach yesterday, all right, weather was obviously getting bad and the waves were getting bad. People really shouldn't have been in the ocean in the first place, but they didn't have the flags up yet because the storm was just kind of coming in. And there was this 14-year-old kid who was on a like one of those boogie board things, like plastic boogie boards. And he was out there in the water. And before he knew it, he was drifting way off there. And his mom came running up to the water and was just kind of freaking out a little bit, right? And you could tell he was struggling to get back in there. So when I saw that, here comes the wind again. Me and his dad kind of like ran out there after him and jumped in the water and got pretty close to him. And then it kind of calmed down a little bit and he was able to get in just fine. But it was interesting. I think about like when I saw that dad initially just sprint and go in after his kid, he wasn't walking in fear, right? Like his father was probably in his 50s, 60s. The 14-year-old's probably in better shape swim, right? So, but he wasn't fearful of that. He just instantly ran into the water with no regard to what would happen to him to get his kid back out. Why is that, right? Because you're running in faith, not in fear, right? You're gonna, I guess my favorite thing is, right, you just act and you figure it out as you go. You can do that, guys, in this career. All right. When you have a bunch of leads and you're going to dial them and call them and you don't know which one's going to be the one that actually helps you pay your bills this month or puts money in your savings account this month, every door that you knock on, you're doing that out of faith, not out of fear. And the more you do that, the more the greatness in this career is going to come out for you, the more greatness inside of you is actually going to come out. But some of us, we walk so much in fear that we just can't get anywhere in life, right, guys? Fear is what keeps you on the hamster wheel of life. It's what keeps you stuck. It's like quicksand, being stuck in the same thing. And then lastly, guys, is to serve others and you'll rise up from them. Sometimes the best way to show your greatness, to pull the greatness out of you, is by serving other people, right? I want you guys to think back to any story of greatness that you've ever heard of. Chances are that story came from somebody impacting other people's lives. And that's how they became great. That's how their book got written. And so, as you guys are on this journey, okay, to build your career, to become successful, to become financially free, to build your agencies up, you have to constantly be thinking of that. The more you serve, the more greatness is going to come out of you, right? Because I think that God rewards people who are actively trying to help better other people's lives without trying to get anything out of it, right? And so think about that. The more you serve, the more you grow. So I apologize for this call, guys. It was so calm out here, not windy at all. And then I launched this call and then it's like boom, the wind is blowing me off of this patio. But hopefully you can hear some of that, guys. But to recap, right? Think about your identity. Who are you? Okay. What blood is flowing inside of you? And that is where you get your greatness from, first and foremost, is the one who created us. Secondly, walk in faith, not in fear. And then, very lastly, guys, serve other people. When you're out there in the field and you're knocking on the leads and you're doing telesales and you're buying the leads and calling the leads, there is some family in that batch of leads that you are going to change their life. You're going to change their life with what you talk to them about, with what you help them with their life insurance, right? Guys, I think as an agency, I think of all of the claims that we've had to go through for your clients and how that is the only glimpse of hope that they have on the worst day of their life when they lose a loved one. The more people you serve, the more successful you're going to be. And you just got to do it with a servant driven heart. So that's all I got for you guys to kick off this Monday morning call. Top 15. Super proud of you guys. If your name wasn't on that leaderboard, I want to see it there for this week. Don't forget, tonight is our sales training call. Every single week, make sure you jump on Monday night. Alicia's going to be going over how to do emotional based selling. And if there is somebody, I'm not just saying this to get brownie points because she's my wife. I have never seen somebody sell insurance as good as this girl can sell insurance. So make sure you tune in to the call tonight if you want to get your weekly dose of sales training. So I appreciate you guys for jumping on here. We're going to wrap it up there and let's go have a big week.